I don't make the money with AI. My business makes the money, and AI is like the thing that helps it make the money. It's the accelerator. It's what
All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the AI Adopters Club. I'm here with my newly adopted friend, Jared. As if I can say so, I found him
how's it
on
going?
X. And Jared, thanks for being here. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, man. Doing good.
All right. Hey, where are you located, by the way? Because I'm here
I
in
mean,
Florida. I don't know if morning applies to you.
yeah, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay. Well, we're somewhat close then.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, man. I came across you on X, and I really what sprung out to me is a couple things. First of all, you seem like a no BS guy when it comes to adopting AI and just
yeah,
making it work for you. You're not hyping it as far as I can tell. You're just
yeah.
really going in there and using it for your own benefit, which I
That's right.
strongly agree with. And on the other side, I saw that you make 100 grand a month with it. So
Yeah, I
that
do.
puts you into a slot where a lot of our readers are and listeners are as well or want to get to. So I just wanted to have you on here and yeah, so welcome, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
So Jared, if you could just tell me briefly in a nutshell what you do and what you were doing before AI and then how you got on using AI as a tool of leverage, so to say. What's your
Sure.
spiel?
So that's kind of an important thing for people to know. So the number one thing that I get asked, like when people message me or comment on something, is how do you make so much money with AI? And I don't make the money with AI. My business makes the money, and AI is like the thing that helps it make the money. It's the accelerator. It's what does the automation, and it makes it make a lot more because with AI you can combine like what you're good at and then amplify it like a million times. So AI definitely helps, but if I didn't have my business and my product, then AI wouldn't be useful to me at all. AI would just be a hobby and something fun to play with, which there's nothing wrong with that. But
So in
so
that sense, I like to say that at the AI Adopters Club, I am really in favor of boring AI, right? And it kind of sounds like it's going there because I'm really against hype. What are the biggest misconceptions that you see people spreading out there when it comes to making money with AI?
that all you need is AI, and you need to buy my course too, and then you'll make the money with the AI. As long as you buy my course, it's like, come on, dude. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, is making people think that AI is not the key to making money. And I'll give you a really good example. Apple App Store right now is just flooded with app submissions, like higher than it's ever been, because everyone's vibe coding and making apps, and that's cool. But then the problem that everyone has is, all right, how do I get people to download it? How do I
Yeah.
get people to buy it? How do I get people to use it? And that goes back to marketing, which is what I've always been good at way before AI. I worked for this guy for 2 years, and he was probably the best marketer, still like best friends that I've ever met. And I've gone through all the train, not all, but a lot of trainings from Frank Kern, Ryan Dice, Russell Brunson, Dan Kennedy, all of those guys. And the thing about it is that once those principles that have worked for years, they've worked since people started selling stuff. But the thing is, if you take those same marketing principles and now you teach them to AI, and you're like, hey, now let AI do it, dude. It's
Hmm.
wild, man. It's wild. So what I do is I have my Obsidian vault, which that's what all my videos, not all of them, but a lot of my videos are about. And all of those principles from all of those guys who know what they're doing and know how to make money that I learned, I have my own notes. I have some of their notes. And what AI does before it does any work for me is it goes and it reads all that stuff and it learns how to do good copywriting, how to make a good Facebook ad, how to write an email subject line that people are going to open. So if you have an email list with 10,000 people and then you launch an app, you're going to have a lot more success than launching an app and not having an email list. So like that's just one example. Like build your list. You got 10,000 people, dude, launch your app, send it to them. You're going to be overnight success.
Hmm.
So just because you know AI is good and it can definitely help with the marketing and building the product, but unless you have the the skills that the AI needs to get that product in front of people, it's really not going to do you any good.
Yeah.
So
People used to say that the idea doesn't matter, it's about execution.
it
Now it's
is.
not really about execution anymore. It's more about distribution, right? Because the bar for everything else is lower. Like you said, there's so many submissions. I see it mostly. I don't know about you, but I see vibe coding mostly as an exercise. I think it's great unless you have some sort of distribution channel built in already. Kind of like what you say. And I want to talk about your the thing that you briefly mentioned. I guess the memory context engine on Obsidian. I want to
Mhm.
bring that in a second. But before we do that, can you tell me a little bit about what your day looked like before AI in marketing and now with AI, and when you made the jump, when it made a first click for you? What was the timeline like for you?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool story. So my brother, the biggest one is the one I own with my brother, and we sell online horse training. Okay, we started that in 2014, and in 2025 we completely turned that and everything else into AI. So we have a membership platform where people can go through our courses. I actually built a knowledge base based off of Carson for those, my brother Carson, for those 12 years of making videos. We had 450 videos on Vimeo. I built an app in Replit to transcribe all those videos. I fed that to AI, and I essentially turned that into this huge knowledge base. So now on our membership site, we have this AI that people can talk to, which is essentially just a replication of my brother. So you got a horse problem, you go in there and talk to the AI, it tells you how to fix it. So that's pretty revolutionary. Redid the entire, we were like, dude, we were on WordPress, and like it was awful. You know how WordPress is, you always have to do the updates and stuff. And
Right.
through from 2014 until the end of 2025, really, I everything is pieced together with like Zapier or Zapier or however you say it, and all these different apps, like 14 things trying to make this business run. And it was running. I mean, I'll give myself credit. It was running, but it was like, dude, just to keep up. And I told myself, I'm just going to redo everything. So I did. And now it's all redone. So I have the horse training business with my brother. And then we own Horse TV, which is like Netflix, but for horse people. So horse movies, documentaries, TV shows, horse training too, because through in this industry, we've met a lot of the really, really famous, well-known horse trainers that have already been on TV, reached out to them. We license movies from like Hollywood and everything. And then
Hmm.
but the AI now does all of the marketing and sales and Facebook ads for all that. And then I own an Airbnb. It's a wizard themed Airbnb with a moving portrait, which I built with AI. It's insane, dude. Stays booked all the time. We don't do we
Wait.
don't
It's a moving portrait?
yeah, like in Harry Potter.
Uh-huh.
So it's a gold, like real gold picture frame with a screen in it.
Oh.
It's one of those, but it doesn't look. But the way I did it, it has film over and stuff. It doesn't look like a screen. It looks like a painting. And then you walk in, and it's actually a wizard version of me that I recreated. And it comes to life and animates when you walk in front of it. It does 45 different animations, and then it'll just go back to its default pose. It looks better than it does in the movies.
Dude, that's such a cool man. I'm just thinking, why not build a platform where people can download this and then put it all into their Airbnbs, and it actually pulls the guest data. So when they arrive, even just from their guest profile picture,
Yeah.
their own stylized version greets them somehow. I don't know, man. I don't want to drift too much
No,
into it.
I'm taking it that
I love this.
This is just V1. So
Yeah,
V2
yeah.
is that it doesn't speak right now, but V2 is it's going to be hooked into Claude, and
Uh-huh.
you'll be able to talk to it and ask it like, where's the best place to eat around here? Hey, where are the extra towels at? Load the knowledge base in there with the
Hmm.
whole entire thing about the property. It's going to be insane. But
That's
haven't
awesome.
haven't got to that yet. But that's
Yeah, yeah.
coming.
That is awesome, man. So, tell me, you actually checked off a couple of questions that I was going to ask you already. So, let's talk about your memory. I think it's called a memory vault. Is
Mhm.
that what you call it?
Yeah.
I think I don't know if you probably didn't see Claudia. Claudia is a framework that I started last year, and
Okay.
essentially it's similar. It has context, connections, capabilities, and cadence, and it lives on top of Claude cowork, but she comes with a memory database and a
Okay.
local LLM that vectorizes everything. And I've been going back and forth with Obsidian. And
Yeah.
the whole concept is like this memory, right? The
Uh-huh.
consistency across context and sessions. And then now, I don't know if you know, but the OKF format came from Google. It's kind of like an
Oh,
MD file structure.
okay.
So worth to maybe look into that. But tell me a little bit about how you got into this game on the memory vault. How are you actively using it? And to a person, because I'm actually hosting workshops on Claudia. Like tomorrow, I have one live in person here. And I'm like that guy that just uses this stuff, but I'm not really good at explain. Like I didn't have taken the time to explain clearly to a variety of professionals
Uh-huh.
why this is important to them, right? Is there some sort
Sure.
of a pitch that you give people why this is important? Because most of them still don't get what a project folder is. So,
Yeah.
needless to say, they have no idea what we're even talking about, but I think it will be helpful.
Sure. So when you start a project on Claude or really any of them, it starts making memories, right? So if you're developing apps or whatever, and it puts it in this random hidden project folder on your computer. What happens over time is it makes more and more and more and more memories. And so you might have 8 memories about the same topic, and but they're all randomized. If you go and actually look at the file names, it's like really chaotic and insane. I was building an app, and then I would tell it to do something, and it would like forget part of what we had already done. And I'm like, why is it? And finally I realized, where is it pulling all this shit from? So sorry, can I say shit on your podcast? And I just
Sure,
did.
man.
But all right.
That's
But
fine. It goes, I don't care about YouTube.
yeah. So I go and I find it, and I'm like, what is all this? So I decide, long story short, I copied all of those memory files. When I first did this, I had about 107, I think. I copied them, pasted them over in the Obsidian folder, and then they were all just in one folder. And I told Claude, I was like, hey, can you like go through these and read them and remove the duplicates, and like everything that's in a note that's like centered around one thing, can you just put it in like one note instead of 8? And it was like, yeah. So it condensed those 107, I think it was something around that, to like 17 notes. That's how much bloat there was in the memory files of Claude. And so that kind of got me down the path of thinking, I'm like, well, what else could I do with this? So it evolved to now, when I boot up Claude, it doesn't run off of the standard Claude memory. So it reads the memory.md file, and the memory.md file says your memories don't live here, they live over in the Obsidian vault. And then it just gives the path on my computer to where the vault is. When it opens the vault, and it tells it, when you open the vault, read the vault index first. And the vault index is one note that sits at the root of my vault. And it says who I am, what I do. And this is useful for me for I have a Jarvis, like a personal assistant agent, and he's wired up like this. It tells who I am, what I do, the businesses I run, and then it gives like a general overview of what's in the vault. Because if you just say all the memories are in the vault, it's going to be like, great, I don't know where anything's at. But if you send it to that vault index first, and it reads kind of the structure and a general overview of, hey, we've got this folder, this is where this is at, then it loads that into its context when it boots, but it doesn't use a whole lot of tokens because it's not reading the entire vault. It's just, it knows that it exists and it knows roughly where it's at, and that's what matters. So then you're like, hey, go pull up this. You don't even you can be very vague, and it just knows where it's at, and it'll just go find it. And it only reads the files that it needs to read when it needs them. And I call it memory on demand, because you're not bloating its context with stuff that it doesn't need. It hasn't loaded the entire vault. But if you want to work on, let's say, creating a sales page, right? You go to the folder that has all the rules and tools and everything it needs to know about creating a sales page. So the only thing that it's loading while it's doing the work is what you're telling it to do. And that's how you don't get context bloat. And then the other thing I started doing was the daily notes. So every day, after every session, after I do everything, I have it programmed in my Claude MD. It's called Checkpoint. It says, when I tell you to do a checkpoint, I want you to go through any notes that we've touched in the vault, make sure there's no bloat, clean anything up, clean up any duplicates, make sure that it's all still accurate and up to date to what we've done currently. Then the next thing you do is you log a session in the daily note. So I work hard. So my daily notes are huge. They're really long. And I have sessions all throughout the day of when I do these checkpoints. So at any time, I can go back and I can find what I did on what day, when I started doing something, what exactly I did. And the other thing that I do with my daily notes to make it really efficient is at the very top, I put an index. So my daily notes can be really, really long. But if you have Claude put an index at the top of them and kind of tell what's in the daily note, kind of like that vault index file, then it doesn't have to read the entire daily note to, if it's looking for something and searching for something. It only reads the index and it's like, oh, I got it. And then it goes down once it finds it and it reads the rest of the note. So that's my workflow. And I have found that is very efficient for me. I haven't had to use anything else besides Obsidian and Claude Code to really get what I wanted done using that.
Yeah. No, I love that. And my question was, but I think you answered that with the checkpoint, how you make it so that it's reliably logging what's happening and updates the memory and maybe any type of routing file. Yep. That shows what's been created. And remind me, are you working in the terminal or in Claude Code, in the app or Cowork?
Yeah, it's the CLI. Everything is terminal that I do. And the other part of that is you have to make the Claude MD, like you have to spend time and effort on it. My Claude MD files, I have two agents. I have my Jarvis, and then I have one named Smith. And Smith is my coder, and then Jarvis does all of my, he's my personal assistant. But you have to make the MD files really have a lot of good rules in them, like the bloat rules, the checkpoint rules, this is what we don't do, this is what we do. Like, I don't know if you've worked with Claude for a long time or Claude Code, it'll tell you maybe we should go to bed and it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, or it'll tell you like, this is something we could tackle tomorrow. So like one of my rules in my Claude MD is do not ever, under any circumstance, suggest that I stop working. When I am ready to stop working, I will tell you. So the combination of a really effective and thought out Claude MD plus the memory structure works really well. Plus, the other thing that makes that work really well, if you have multiple agents, is that both of those agents write to my daily note throughout the day. So if Smith is doing some coding work and he gets to a checkpoint, he makes an entry. Jarvis is helping me with something else, he makes an entry. But when Jarvis
that via hooks, or how's that?
I just tell him to do it.
Oh, you do it. You tell them. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, okay. This is I have automated stuff, but this is I'm talking about the non-automation part right now. And so Jarvis will make an entry, Smith will make an entry, but when they go make those entries, they can see what each other is working on. And that's important because some of the stuff they do kind of cross paths. So Jarvis isn't going to do anything to step on Smith's toes, and Smith isn't going to do anything to step on Jarvis's toes, because as they're doing their notes throughout the day, they're kind of like talking to each other because they can see what each other has been doing. It's pretty wild.
I love that, man. Two things actually. Number one, I've seen people talk about similar systems like this, as like a second brain and memory in general. And there's people that are actually taking this approach, and they're going to businesses and they're offering this as a foot in the door. Like, hey, let me clean up your data, your day-to-day. Let me build you a second brain for your business, and charge you $5,000 for it. But the biggest thing that people are just worried about is, how am I supposed to know how to build these structures? How am I supposed to know how to build a folder structure, an index file, or these rules, right? In my experience, this is like a back and forth. I actually have a specific workflow that I just really love. I'm on X. I see somebody talking about a new memory layer or some sort of approach to solving memory, or maybe to solving something else. And then I go and I talk to Grok, and I take the context from X, and I'm like, hey, look at this. And then Claudia has her own X profile with the GitHub repo link to it. So I'm like, is this something that Claudia could use? How is Claudia better or worse, right? Can we steal some of that, right? And that I love that, right? And then when it's done, I'm like, okay, create a handoff document for Claude essentially, or Claudia itself, to work on that with all the context, right? And I just take it and transfer it over. How was your experience in building this system? How did you approach this, or do you have a background in that?
I don't have a background in software or anything. My background is in marketing, dude. I'm a marketing guy, but my brain is very set up to I don't know, just it thinks in patterns and structures. So, for example, when I set up a folder, let's say I have a folder called jobs, right? And in the jobs folder is another folder called creating a Facebook ad. And then in that folder is a note called creating a Facebook ad. And that is the structure of the entire vault. So I have a folder, and then in there I have another subfolder, and then in that subfolder there is a note with the same name as the subfolder. And that note serves as the index for everything else in that folder. And it's set, and I put it in my Claude MD, and it knows that because of the Claude MD. So when it's going to find something, the first thing it reads in every folder is the note that's named the same thing as the folder. And that gives it a general overview of every single thing in the folder. And I don't know how I came up with it. I was just like, this seems efficient. I don't know. That's just how my brain works. And then I just made that the same for every single folder. So now that's the structure that it uses. Yeah, I don't have any background in coding or anything like that, but I'm good at structures.
Luckily, we don't need that anymore. As long as you can logically think through problems and, like you say, recognize patterns, I think that's good to go. Look, I have a final question, a little bit more like first principles, because I see obviously you were a professional in your marketing field before, and then you successfully adopted AI and create value in your environment for you and your customers. What is your advice? You can be as granular or broad as you want for any type of professional that is worried about AI coming into their game and their playing field. And what would be your advice to take that fear, learn about AI, and then use it as a lever for what they've been doing before? Is there any way of thinking about it that you like to tell people if they ask you?
People is that AI is coming whether you're ready for it or not. So you better get ready. And all these people who think it's not going to take off are the same people who are like, I don't really like that internet thing back when it like, you guys, you have no idea what's coming. And the thing about it is that AI, it's not just, it's happening so fast. Like they use Opus 4.8 to create Fable, and then they're going to use Fable to create the next one. And so it's not just like it accelerates that much every single time. You're talking about, dude, in 1 or 2 years, everybody is going to you're just going to download a Jarvis on your computer and click start. So you might as well get ahead of it right now, because the point that we're at right now is most businesses and most people still think that AI is having a chat with ChatGPT. Or they think it's all the AI slop that people are putting out with the image generation and the music generation and all. That's when they hear AI, that's what they think. The majority of people, and especially business owners, do not understand what AI really is and what it is really capable of. And the learning curve is not that hard. You could literally just download Claude Code and be like, hey, how do I use this? And just and then it'll just tell you. Like that's all you have to do, and just start learning it. It really doesn't take long. And if you don't know how to do something, say, I do know how to do this. And it'll be like, all right, I'll just do it for you. And it just does it. Like it's really, really, it's not that complicated, man. And then I have a GitHub with instructions, and it's just markdown files. You just hand it to Claude Code and it'll set up my entire Obsidian vault system for you. It's all free. I don't charge for anything. And the reason that I don't charge for anything and I try to help people out is because I don't care about being the next Elon Musk. And I feel like that I've made enough in my life to get by. And I don't think that this kind of stuff should be gate kept, because it's the future. And I think that like our education system, the college, young adults, and the high school kids, I don't think that they're being set up to be successful in life, especially now with this new AI thing. So like my and I have kids. So like my passion project is kind of like I want to pass the torch on all this marketing stuff and stuff I've learned to set people up to win, because I want everybody to be successful. And I think everybody who works hard and is smart deserves to be successful. And those are the kind of people I'm trying to help.
Love that, Jared. Thank you so much, man. I love your vibe. And I totally second that too. I have two kids and I homeschool them. I use AI to homeschool them as well. They don't have access to AI right now because they're just 5 and 7. But I think it's definitely it's an interesting ride, and it's an opportunity. But people generally don't like to change because that takes effort and energy, right? But I think if you just burn the ships, because the ships are already burning, so you don't actually have to burn them yourself. You have to just move forward.
They're gonna self burn.
Exactly. Hey, Jared, thank you so much. That was really awesome. Love your no BS vibe. And if people want to find out more about you, connect with you, or the things that you do, where can they find you?
I'm at Jared Rhode, JaredRhod everywhere. And I made that handle, and that's my website too, jaredrhode.com. And my wife was like, "You forgot the E." And I'm like, "What do you mean I forgot the E?" She said, "That spells Jared Rod." I'm like, "No, it doesn't." She's like, "Yes, it does. But my name is Rhodenizer, Rhodeni. So I thought the E, Rhodenizer, the E is pronouncing the N, not the anyway, it's Jared. It's Jared Road. They pronounce it Jared Road, but it's jaredroad.com. And it has my GitHub repos and everything on there.
Sounds good, man. I'll link it below just to make sure people know where to find you. Thank you, Jared, man. I really enjoyed that. Hope we'll stay in touch. And for you guys, hope you enjoyed this too. And see you in the next one.
All right. See you later.